Yay.
Yay.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yay.
Hey, look, I'm late. Howdy, 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 howdy.
Yay.
Remember that?
No.
That's from like Toy Story 1.
Okay.
The shark, they come out of the toy box and he's like, "Where's my hat?"
Wearing
And then
the
the
hat.
shark pops up and he
Sure,
has the hat.
yeah. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
Toy Story is real good. Real good. Fourth movie coming out, what, 2 years?
We gotta get Incredibles 2 before that, right? I hope.
Yeah, I think Incredibles 2 is before that. What's this year? Is this year Incredibles 2?
I didn't
This year's
even
Cars
know.
3
You're right. This year is Cars 3. You're right.
with
I
that
think-
super dark trailer.
Oh, that's
I haven't
right.
actually seen that.
Trailer's really good.
I saw the teaser, the first one. Is that what you guys are talking about, or was there a trailer after that?
I think that's the only one. I think the teaser's the only
Yeah,
one.
that's what I thought.
Where it was like just a racetrack, and then McQueen like explodes.
Yeah, he's like
Basically,
crashing.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Who's excited to see the finale to this trilogy
It's probably
After
not
that-
the finale.
after that dark middle chapter that we all watched, right?
Yeah, all those people who watched Cars 2.
I went and saw Cars 2.
How was it?
I lost my wallet in that theater.
Oh, so it was a good experience for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
man.
good experience. Start to finish.
That's fucking rough.
Cars 2 is terrible. Yep.
Yeah, I believe you,
trying to-
for sure.
That's the one that
What
starred
was in
Larry the
front of
Cable
it?
Guy as the
There
main
was-
character, right? Or Mater.
Yep. Yeah. Tow Mater. There was a cool animated short in front of it, and I'm pretty sure I turned to my friend afterwards, and I was like, "We can leave now.
Mhm.
Like, we can actually just leave now, and I'd be happy." Did you guys see Planes?
No, I forgot that existed.
I did too.
Yeah, I went and saw
actually.
that. Actually, that might have been the one I lost my wallet in. Actually, now that I
Yeah.
think about it,
That
That-
makes more sense.
those
for
two-
sure.
those two movies kind of like blend together a bit.
Right.
They were both really close together too, from what I remember.
Maybe like a year or so. I think they were actually. I really don't remember when Planes came out. That stars Dane Cook.
Really?
I'm pretty sure the main plane, the crop duster. Yeah, what's his? It's a crop duster, like dusty crops. I can't remember what it's called.
Looking it up. 2013
Okay.
for Planes. You
There's
are
a
right.
sequel
Dane
to that
Cook,
movie that was
Dane Cook
direct
is the
to
main
DVD.
character.
Actually, I don't know. If it
Fire
was
and
direct-
Rescue or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if that may have actually been in theaters. I did not see Planes 2.
Yeah, theatrically released. It was in theaters.
Amazing.
Dane Cook reprised his role of Dusty and was
Yeah.
joined by Julie Bowen as the voice of Little Dipper.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either, actually.
Should we know who Julie Bowen is?
She's best known for playing Carol Vesey on Ed, Denise Bauer on Boston Legal, Sarah Shepard on Lost, and Claire Dunphy on
Oh,
the comedy Modern
Shepard.
Family.
Sarah Shepard.
Oh wait, she was Jack's wife. His ex-wife that you see in maybe like 2 episodes. Weird.
Okay. Well, good for her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
So how's your guys' week been?
It's been fun. It's been okay.
Yeah. John.
It's been all right.
All right. The rain finally stopped here for a bit. I'm super excited about that.
It's
Nice.
been reasonably warm here still.
Yeah.
So the
I hear it's
weather's
about to
good.
get real cold though.
Sounds about right.
When is our Chinook ending? Do you have an idea, Paul? I'm worried. I went outside in this like thin hoodie today. It was great.
I did too, yeah. I got a little cold though because I was waiting for a bus for fucking ever. Our transit's so bad here. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have
no, I don't know.
BART, so as far as I'm concerned, everywhere is better than BART.
does your bus show up like ever?
Talking about on time?
No.
Because no,
Like ever.
never on time.
No, look, no bus ever shows up on time except for the one time you're running late. That's the rule of thumb with bus travel.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do a podcast.
Oh, okay.
In fact, let's do the top-down perspective.
That's a very specific podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are okay to do that specific podcast, unless you have another podcast in mind that is also hosted by Sean Booker, Paul Fleck, and John Wheeler.
We could like literally just create one right now.
Just start a new podcast right now.
Yeah.
All right. You guys want to talk about for an hour, hour and a half?
Planes.
Planes? Like
the movie planes.
the
not
movie
actual
planes or
just the movie
airplanes?
You
Or
know
like
what?
Talk about the fact
Either.
that-
flat lands.
Let's talk about the fact that Dane Cook apparently still has a career. There we go.
What's the
Well, I
last
mean,
thing
he
Dane
stole
Cook's
it
done?
from a whole bunch of other people. So
The hell is Dane Cook doing? I feel like I had this discussion very recently, bizarrely enough.
that is really bizarre. Yeah, because I don't think about Dane Cook ever.
Yeah, neither do I.
I think the last thing he actually did was the Planes movies.
I think that
Nope.
explains. That tells you everything you need to know.
No, he was on Comedy Bang Bang in 2014, and an episode called "Dane Cook Wears a Black Blazer and Tailored Pants," and he was on 400 Days as also executive producer. So I guess that's never mind. The last thing he was himself in was either Comedy Bang Bang or Planes Fire and Rescue.
Great.
Yeah,
I don't really like Dane Cook.
I don't either. I never have liked Dane Cook at all. There was a while there where it was real hard to be me too, because a lot of people really liked Dane Cook for some reason.
What's the movie where he works at a Costco?
Employee of the
some romantic-
month.
Employee of the month. I watched that with my mom, and that had
Oh,
way
good.
more nudity than both of us expected.
Yeah, it does.
That was great. That was a fun time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The film was shot primarily at the Costco in Albuquerque, New Mexico,
Beautiful.
located at 1420 North Renaissance Boulevard Northeast. Thanks, Wikipedia, for the exact address.
Thanks for the advertisement.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, this is just making me sad.
Because
So,
you remember Dane Cook.
So yeah, we're gonna move on. John, what have you been playing?
So despite the wealth of games I played last week, and I didn't play all that much this week that wasn't stream related, I played. Well, I guess I can talk about that too. I forgot about that. On my own time, I played a game called Super Hexagon. I saw one of my friends on stream playing it, and I was like, man, I actually have not played this, so I figured I'd try it out.
I think it's like 3-4 years old at this point.
Is that young? I thought it was older than that.
Maybe it's older than that.
I thought it was
I don't
like
know.
2011, 2010. Like it's a long fucking time ago. I remember playing that like at PAX in 2012. Maybe it was 2012.
I'm gonna guess 2012.
September 2012.
Okay.
Originally released on iOS in September 2012. The Windows version was November 2012.
Which
Is that what
version
you're
were
playing?
you
The Windows
playing?
version?
The Steam one.
Yeah, okay.
I did not realize how weird the rotating mechanic is in that game, which is pretty much the only gameplay in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
you
thought
kind of
it
like
was fine.
you kind of decelerate in a weird way. Like
Yeah.
when you let go, you don't quite. I had a hard time figuring out how to stop in the right areas. I felt like I always overshot.
I mean, it is just a really hard game.
I feel like you
That
get the
too,
feel
but-
for it though after a little bit.
You do. It took me a bit, but like that's literally like half the challenge of the game is just getting used to the control scheme, which is weird to say about a game, which is meant that just rely on like Twitch controls.
Mhm.
That soundtrack though.
The soundtrack's really good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Chip
Real good
Chipsil.
soundtrack.
That's
It's a
Chipsil.
shame
right
you
there.
only hear
Yeah.
seconds of it at a time.
I thought that game didn't restart every time you died. I thought it just continued.
No,
Or at least-
every
or at
time you
least-
die and restart, it jumps to another song or track. Or part
Okay,
of
but it
the
doesn't
track.
just restart the same track, right?
On the very first difficulty, there's like either three tracks or three parts of the one track it keeps bouncing between.
Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
that's exactly what I was thinking. It's 3 parts of the one track.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of jump between those, which I like that. I'm fine with that. It would be awful if it just restarted every time because you would want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
But all 3 of the tracks in the game are awesome.
There's 6 difficulties though, so there's not
Oh.
new tracks for those other 3?
I actually didn't know there was 6. I thought there was only 3.
Yeah, there's 6. You have to beat the other 3 difficulties each to unlock one. Like each one you beat unlocks another one, and to beat one, I think you have to stay alive for 60 seconds.
Okay.
Or it might be longer than that, because I think to get to stage level 5, I think I needed to stay alive for another 15 seconds.
I honestly don't remember. I played that so long ago. I
It
think I
has
only
been a
ever beat the
while.
first stage.
Yeah.
But man, that game is meant to just throw you off completely. Like the background is spinning around like crazy, like it's tilting, and then just things come at you so fast. Sometimes it feels like it's not even possible to survive the things they're throwing at you. But I think that's just like one small move, you're gone, kind of thing.
For sure.
Remind me, is it randomized or can you memorize the patterns?
Randomized. There's different
Okay.
groupings of patterns, but yeah, otherwise it's randomized.
Okay.
It's one of those games though that when you get in the groove, you're actually not even like your eyes aren't focused on what you're doing. They're just kind of like glossed over and you're just doing it. It's weird. You get that trance.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point they're going for. That's why the music
Yeah.
is very like chip trance.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on the cat for a second here too.
No, it's understandable.
Other than that, I was in a shitty game tournament on Saturday and had to play. Damn it! Hang on. Had to play a game called Cutthroat Island for the Super Nintendo.
Is it shitty?
It's pretty bad. It's a game published by Acclaim, made by Software Creations, I think was the company, and it was a movie tie-in game for a movie from the 90s called Cutthroat Island.
Yeah.
It's sort of a beat 'em up, or it is a beat 'em up, but it's got weird platforming elements to it. And it had a minecart stage as the second stage, where you just died if you hit anything other than like a tiny pirate.
Oh, good.
So I had about an hour to get farther in the game than my opponent, and I won. But man, in that 1 hour, no continue. Oh no, sorry. There is a way to get a continue, but neither of us figured out how it works. I just at one point had a continue.
Okay.
There's a point where you get to said island and there's quicksand, and you can't get out of the quicksand if you accidentally walked into it, or if you're knocked down in it, you just immediately die.
Okay.
So that was an experience. But yeah, it's an okay beat 'em up with some really shitty like minecart areas. There was another place where you're riding on top of a carriage, and you have enemies flying at you, cannonballs flying at you from the screen onto the background, and there are these poles you have to dodge. The cannonballs are curving, so you won't likely see where they're going to connect until it's too late. If you can double jump, but if you jump too much, or like jump forward or backwards at all, you'll just straight up jump off the cart. It just controls like shit. But the weird thing is the beat 'em up, like the actual beat 'em up parts, control really good. And then you get to the bosses, which are broken. There's one boss that kept like looped me. Like he would knock me down, then he would pick me up while I'm on the ground and do more damage, knock me back down on the ground, pick me up again. Like I would lose entire lives without being able to stop him.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's great. Game of the year, highly recommend.
How did you do?
Yeah, so I got to World 7.
Okay.
But the game's real weird because it's
opponent?
weird. Yeah, opponent got to 4, which was the carriage.
Okay.
The minecart took the most time because you had to memorize it, and the very last spot. So it plays this weird trick on you. There's like these small pirates that are just like walking around. You can just hit them with a minecart. But then in certain spots, there's a big pirate where if you hit him, he actually just kills you.
Huh. Okay.
Otherwise, you're getting killed by rocks and trees. So at the very end of the whole sequence, it tricks you by putting a pirate, like the beefy pirate, on the bottom. But then immediately there's a rock on the top. So you have to switch lanes really fast. Otherwise, you're just forced to die and do everything over. So it's just really unfair. But it's weird because, like I said, the actual beat 'em up portion, surprisingly solid. So
is most of the game the beat 'em up portion?
Thankfully. I said, my game ended when I got to the part where there was quicksand, because then you had to climb vines in the background and jump from tree to tree to avoid the quicksand.
Okay.
Except if you jump too high, you take fall damage and instantly die. So,
cool.
Yeah. What are those
Great.
games? I have another shitty tournament round coming up in a couple months because I've already done 2 rounds for that. I did Holy Diver for the first one, and I did Cutthroat for this one. So we'll see.
Wait, how long is this tournament?
This tournament's probably going to take most of the year, depending on because it's a double elimination tournament.
Okay.
If I win one more round, I'm in the top 16. So then it'll speed up considerably. Because keep in mind, each round takes an hour, and it has to be streamed online. It's only usually done on the weekends.
Okay, so like every weekend you can watch like 2 other combatants going at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This the same Saturday I was on. The other games I ended up playing was Knight Rider for the NES, based on the show, and Terminator 2: Judgment Day for the Game Boy.
Okay.
Awesome.
How do they make sure like everyone has these games?
Oh, they just send them the ROMs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't own Cutthroat Island. I actually couldn't find a copy. So.
Okay.
And you don't know what game you ended up playing until like an hour before the actual round.
So you can't practice.
No, and it has to be a game that you have not played before. So they ask you like, if you've played this, you have to tell me, and then we'll pick a new one.
Okay, I guess that makes it fair. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. This week I'm hoping to. There's a couple games that came out on Tuesday. I'm hoping to get to. And
What
Paul's
came
already
out?
played one of them. Yakuza 0.
Oh
And,
man, I heard that was really good.
I'm excited to play this. I have not played a Yakuza game, but I've heard this one is amazing.
I've
So
never
I'm
played
excited
one
to play it.
either, but this one got my interest too because people were talking it up on Twitter. So I don't know, man.
I was watching over on Waypoint Patrick Klepek play a section of it.
Yeah.
He went into like a video store and purchased some porn to watch,
Sounds
and then you
right.
can just sit in the video store watching porn.
Yeah, you could play old Sega arcade games in it. Apparently, you can go bowling and win a chicken,
Great.
Nice.
and
Yeah.
and the chicken becomes your real estate manager.
All right.
What
It's
are
a
these
weird ass
games?
game. I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, that sounds really
Is this
good.
a good jumping on point or something?
Well, this is because Resident Evil 7 also came out on Tuesday, and that's what Paul's been playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before we transition to that, like, is Yakuza 0 a good jumping on point in any way?
Yakuza 0 is a prequel to all the Yakuza games, so you might get more out of it
Okay.
if you play the previous ones, which I haven't, but it's also a good jumping on point because it takes place before anything else in the series.
Right.
Right.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I guess, yeah, so sorry to ruin that transition. Paul, you've been playing Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, playing it is probably not exactly right. More like dissecting like everything about it. It's
Are
taking
you
up-
playing it in PSVR?
I wish, dude. Holy fuck, do I wish. Actually, one of the like little reasons to myself that I was like, I'm gonna buy it on PS4 first is because, first of all, when I get it on PC, which will be tomorrow, I know I'm gonna only play that for a long time. But I wanted
You're
the
gonna buy it
PS.
twice?
Oh yeah, for sure. But the reason I wanted
He
the
really likes Resident Evil.
the reason I
Oh.
wanted the PS4 version is because I thought to myself, one day, if it's someday this year, I just get an urge to buy PSVR, I will definitely do that, and I don't want to have to like buy a $500 headset and an $80 game at the same day, so we'll just keep it on the back burner. I've been playing it, kind of showing Aaron the story of the game and like kind of just doing my own thing in it, though. I'm really more excited to play it on PC. It's hard for me to talk about this game without wanting to talk about a bunch of stuff that'll like ruin a lot of things.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So I'm not gonna say a lot about that.
Let me ask you some questions.
Yeah, okay.
You're a huge Resident Evil fan. Is this working for you?
Holy fuck, this is the most Resident Evil this series has been for fucking years. Holy
So like
shit.
two thumbs up?
Holy shit, dude, you have no fucking idea. It's so
Okay.
fucking crazy. The last time,
But like good?
yeah, like very, very good. The biggest problem with it is that the shooting feels shitty. And I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose because you're supposed to be kind of an everyman who's not like a special forces dude who like has been trained to use a gun, but it sucks. It feels really, really shitty and I hate it. So
Okay.
luckily you don't do a lot of it.
I was hearing a lot of comparisons to the first Resident Evil.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Like for people,
except like no tank controls, obviously.
right?
But imagine if that was in there. If there was an option for that.
In first person, that would be really. I mean, in first person, it kind of is tank controls. Like you're
holding
forward. Yeah, I know, but like
you can walk to the left. But
yeah,
just imagine if that was just an option, like just for funs. There was just a mode, like tank control mode. Like I could see them putting just a trophy, beat the game in tank controls. That would just be crazy.
I mean, I could see them doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like. The way this is Resident Evil without talking about any of the actual like story stuff that's going on. There are tie-ins to like the main series. This is like an official Resident Evil thing, and with like names you might recognize if you know some deep cuts in the games and stuff like that. But there are save rooms, like safe rooms. There are basically item chests. There are things you have to record your progress on. You're in a house.
Oh god, there's limited saving again?
There's only limited saving in Madhouse difficulty.
Okay.
In the hardest difficulty. Yeah. I mean, there's like fucking green herbs to heal. Like, it's a Resident Evil game. 100%. There's weird puzzles that don't make sense to open doors. It's fucking
Is it scary?
Great. It's fucking terrifying. It's so good. It's
okay.
so good.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm never going to play this.
Okay, fair enough. It plays a lot like Alien Isolation. Like a lot of you're doing a thing, there's some combat here and there, and then like you're hiding from something and you're like trying to get by it and that sort of thing. Like if you played Alien Isolation, this is very, very similar to how that plays.
So it's like those moments in Deadly Premonition where you got to hide from the guy in the red coat.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay. Now you're putting it in words I understand. Got it.
Yeah, for sure.
Good. All right. I'm not going to play this game ever.
That's totally your prerogative. For people that like are new to the Resident Evil series, if you pick
this is a good jumping on point?
For sure. If you pick this game up and like this is your first one ever, this is the type of like experience that I had back in 96, going through like a weird house with like enemies and not knowing what's around the corner and stuff. Like it's very, very much like the original Resident Evil. So I highly, highly recommend it to people that are interested in checking out the series for the first time. There's some weird shit in there. I'd be actually more interested to hear what you have to say about it, having no like experience with any of the other games, because most of the people I talk to do have experience in the other games. So like I kind of don't know.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to people in general.
Oh, I see.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, like they can message me or whatever. If they've never played a game and they start off with this one, be kind of interested to see what their point of view is. If you do like the games, you should probably check it out though. Like it's very, very good. Yeah.
Johnny, you super excited now?
I'm curious about it. I'm glad it's been getting such a warm reception. So
Paul, does this pass Hidden My Game by Mom 2 is your favorite game of 2017?
I mean, 2017 for like the games that are even
you can say
out,
no, that's fine. Hidden My Game by Mom 2 is great.
2017
no.
for the next few months even like is very strong. It's gonna take all of those games like some doing to knock this off of like my game of the year one spot. It's really good.
Okay.
Well, considering the demo won your 2016, so
That's
yeah,
true. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if there's one game that can do it, it might be Zelda. Like I have my fingers crossed. I'm so hopeful. So if it sucks, holy shit, is that going to be a bad week? Oh man.
Let's be honest. If it sucks, then Nintendo is fucked.
Hey, Super Mario Odyssey looks great.
Yeah, it's a shame that's like what 8 months after.
I'm just saying, it's 2017 apparently, and that game looks great. Also, you know what Nintendo just put out? Well, Nintendo, actually the Pokemon company, Pokemon Duel. That's what I've been playing.
I played that too, actually.
Okay, what did you think, Paul?
I hate it. I hate that style of game.
I hate it too.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, but let me preface this by saying it's not anything to do with Pokemon. I hate that style of game. Like, so.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking at this like, oh man, I hate these Pokemon. I hate the part where there's a Pokemon on here.
No,
For
I
sure,
mean,
I'm not
like,
saying that.
the app runs fine. I was able to get matches with random people and, like, play the game. There was no problem with how it actually like works. I just hate that style of game where it's like, I don't know.
I was actually having issues with it running. Like, it just takes forever to load stuff, and it's always connecting. And I was only playing it on Wi-Fi the few times I did play it.
Yeah, me too.
And I should put play in air quotes because I would say 3/4 of what I played was tutorial, because I don't think the tutorial ever ends. There is so much crap it needs to explain to you. This game
I got through the tutorial in less than a minute. There's a skip option in the top right corner for literally everything.
I didn't skip it because
except
I don't
store.
know this game.
But you can't skip the store stuff because of course you can't.
Money? Yeah.
The part where you could spend money if you wanted to. Yeah.
So it's a strategy game.
Yeah.
You have Pokemon figurines, and you can move them a certain number of spaces. And when they come near or right beside an enemy figurine, it's basically a dice roll to see if you knock the other one off the board.
You're spinning a wheel and stopping it. Like it's like a roulette wheel. It's
right,
yeah.
which is basically a dice roll.
Luck-based strategy game.
Exactly.
It's fucking garbage.
And
that's stupid.
And it ends up just kind of, and so the whole point is you need to get one of your figurines on like their final spot, or like a spot really close to their home base, and they have to do it to yours.
Yeah.
So it ends up just kind of being you throwing Pokemon over and over again and hoping you don't get knocked all the way back to the start. And instead you knock them all the way back to the start, and then you win immediately. Like I don't know, maybe I didn't play it far enough, but it seems like there's not much for strategy in there.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the app. There's just so much to it. There was so much to. I didn't skip the tutorial. I needed to learn it all. You feed. You can level up your Pokemon and stuff like that. It's free, so I mean, you can't complain too much. It's not like I paid money and I'm disappointed. But yeah, after just kind of playing for, like I said, about an hour, I don't ever want to play that again. Took it off my phone.
Yep. I'm with you.
Yep.
If you like that type of game, though, I think there's another game like it called like Dungeon Dice Monsters or something like that, which is basically the same idea.
Dungeon Dice Monsters, the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, is not based off of spinning a wheel, though. It's like, I think like characters have preset values or something like that. And it's based on how many tokens you stock up when you roll per turn or something like that.
I'm pretty sure that there's something similar in this. It's just that when you start off, you have just like the basic shit that they give you. I didn't really dive into the like customization stuff because I just don't like how that plays.
I'll give you a different recommendation. If you like Pokemon strategy games, play Pokemon Conquest. It's awesome, and it's an actual tactics game that requires strategy.
Yeah, the weird thing is my first match, when I like kind of didn't even know what I was doing at all, is I got the shit kicked out of me. Like he kept the dude I was fighting against or whatever kept just like attacking all my Pokemon. But then there was like a giant opening where I just like moved my Pokemon all the way from my base in like 2 turns up to his like little base area, and I won. So I was like, oh, okay. Like it doesn't matter if you battle at all. Like you just have to move a dude up into this little like space of his. That's all you have to do.
It literally just kind of seems like luck, just luck of the game
for sure.
Luck based capture the flag.
Kind of, I guess. Sure. Anyway, let's. Speaking of capture the flag, I played Overwatch.
I've been meaning to do that.
So
I logged in for my free box, and that was it.
It's the Year of the Rooster event.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try that out, and instead of May's snowball fight, it's capture the flag now.
Okay.
Which is pretty fun. I don't know. It doesn't change things too much. It's kind of like capturing the control point, but you got to kind of move it back and forth, and you got to capture 3 to win. It ends in a lot of draws, because now you can get a draw, which is interesting. Every team I play with seems to suck.
Welcome to Overwatch.
Welcome to online shooters.
I wouldn't say that. But I get it in a lot of situations where it's like, okay, this one I'm going to try and go for the flag, but then no one's guarding our flag, so we just lose. So it's like, okay, I'm going to guard the flag, and then no one can get near our flag, but it ends in a draw. So I don't know. Anyway, that was my short experience with it. But I'm playing some more Overwatch, trying to get those skins, playing some capture the flag. They also did some little minor updates. You can now equip like 4 different sprays, not just to have one there. Yeah, it's the only thing that's jumping out with me. Hey, Overwatch is still good, guys. And now's the time to go get your free box at the very least. Because why not?
Yeah, I got
that's
garbage in mine.
What was that?
I got garbage in mine. So
yeah, I haven't gotten anything cool yet from this event, but I'll probably still play it because why not?
Right.
That's all I've been playing. That's all we've all been playing. Let's go on to the little bit of news that came out. Hey, Overwatch has a event this week, guys. Did you hear about that? Year of the Rooster?
No, I haven't heard about it.
Oh, let me tell you about it. It's Capture the Flag. Okay. This came out today. Square Enix announced they're going to be doing a multi-game partnership with Marvel, and Crystal Dynamics is going to do an Avengers game.
Okay, that's cool.
You'll know Crystal Dynamics from the last couple Tomb Raider games.
Yeah, I like those actually. Those games, they're fun.
I love those games. Yeah, those are great. So I don't know. Cautiously optimistic. There's a small teaser that shows absolutely nothing right now.
Yeah, you no one has any idea what the gameplay is going to be or what. So
nothing. So the partnership is another indication, alongside the Spider-Man game being made for PlayStation 4, that Marvel is shifting its gaming focus from mobile back to console and PC. So.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I'm just waiting for more information on this to be real. I'm excited to see Marvel actually doing stuff again, but
what kind of game would you hope for?
What it's probably going to be is an open world adventure game is what that's going to be. Because A, it's Crystal Dynamics. That's what they've been excelling at lately. And B, it kind of makes sense when you have a group as diverse as the Avengers. You probably want it to be a big open world. Like, all right, we're going to go send the Hulk can jump between buildings and just smash stuff to start destruction. Iron Man can fly around. Hawkeye can shoot arrows.
So it's kind of like a Spider-Man game?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want Ultimate Alliance games again. Those were fun.
You just want Ultimate Alliance?
It'll never happen.
I know.
Never happen.
I know, but they were so good. Kind of. I mean, they weren't great, but you got a few buddies together.
Those games are good. I really enjoy. I played both those games.
You get a few buddies together, and they were fine. Yeah, they were good.
Keep in mind, there were 2 X-Men games in the same style before the Ultimate Alliance game. So there's 4 of that style of game out.
It's true.
And they all came out pretty close together.
Yeah, they did.
Isn't Diablo also kind of that game?
Yeah.
It turned into that game when they released the console port of Diablo 3, for sure.
Okay. So just play Diablo 3.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that new Necromancer comes out, I think, this year. So there you go. Reason to get back into Diablo 3 eventually.
Next, a small bit of news. Ni No Kuni 2 is going to get a PC version along with the PlayStation one. And they're all coming out on the same date as the Japanese version. Last time we had to wait upwards of a year.
That's awesome.
For the English version. So later this year, PC, PlayStation 4 versions of that game. I'm interested. I liked that first game. So there was a Project Scorpio spec leak that Eurogamer ran.
I didn't know about this. I'm trying to catch up on it right now.
This article is super long.
It is.
It's probably the longest article. Highlight, I saw the 6 the 6 teraflop GPU that we kind of heard rumors about before is also brought up here, so that might be more accurate. 4.5 times as capable as the Xbox One. Anyway, it's a big long article up on Eurogamer if you're real interested in diving deep on some of these spec leaks. I didn't hear many people talking a ton about this, so I haven't really heard highlights or anything like that.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear about this, and this is way too long for me to formulate it.
Just a theory on. Yeah.
So I'll have to.
If you love reading about GPUs and RAM, check out your.
That's all I do all day is read about GPUs and RAM.
And then we have the Games with Gold February titles.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited about these. On Xbox One, Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, which I've been really wanting to play, and since I just got that second controller on my Xbox, totally gonna do some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Project Cars, which I hear is real good.
Right.
And then the 360 games are Monkey Island and Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Not bad.
I like The Force
Okay.
Unleashed. I know it got some flack from a lot of people, but I like those games. They're fun.
Hey, I played through all of The Force Unleashed. I don't know if I played through all of The Force Unleashed 2.
Not many did for Force Unleashed
Yeah.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Sith Lightning, that was a thing, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Lightning was a big thing in those games.
Yeah. Okay. And that's. Do you guys have any news? That's it for my news.
Nothing's come up lately, gaming wise, anyways.
Resident Evil 7 came out, and no, I don't
Stop
have
the
anything.
presses.
Double
Everyone
Dragon
focus.
4 comes out in a few days, and I'm super stoked about that. There you go.
Oh
News.
shit! Oh crap! When is that out? What
The
day?
30th.
On a Monday? All right.
Apparently.
What was that coming out on? Just Steam?
No, PlayStation
Probably.
4 and PC.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
when
really
my copy of
excited
Tales of
about it.
Berseria is supposed to show up.
Oh, there you go. You can play that, and I guess John and I will be playing Double Dragon 4. Him probably on
Done.
PS4, me probably on PC, or together if they do that. So
Is it coming out on PC? I only see it for PlayStation 4.
that's what they say on this site, this GameSpot site, because I had to look up the
Okay.
date.
All right.
But
Wiki says Windows and PS4. The trailer says
I'm looking at a giant bomb, which I'm
Oh,
assuming
yeah.
would have the same info as GameSpot.
I would.
yeah. The trailer says PS4 and Steam.
Okay. PS4 and Steam. There you go.
I'm like unusually excited for this game, and I don't know why. I guess I just want to beat them up, and why not have Double Dragon 4 in this day and age come out on modern consoles? That's kind of dope. So
Questions? You guys want to answer a few questions?
no,
Sure.
not really.
All right. Well, then never mind.
Well, then you can just sit there and listen.
Don't worry, that's what I'm gonna do.
People want to send questions in topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, Facebook group, Discord, John's PO Box, anything with our name on it. Ask us a question.
Yep.
I'll take this first one. James writes, recently, some of my friends beat Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, but I still haven't gotten past Case 2. Mainly it's because I feel the overall tone of the game has shifted too far from the other games in the series. The tone takes on a more darker tone than the others, and it feels like it's dragging me down with it. While this isn't a bad tone to set, and it does have funny moments, this does not feel like an Ace Attorney game. My question is, what sequels to a game have you played where an element feels so far removed from the original title that it almost doesn't feel like it's part of the same game series?
Resident Evil 4.
It feels darker. Like almost every case in Phoenix Wright's about someone dying.
Isn't every case about someone dying?
There's a couple that aren't, but not many. Like maybe 2.
And I mean in real life too. Like
Also, yeah.
most cases are just about somebody died.
I don't know. Well, you haven't played it, right, John?
I'm a game behind.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe it does get a lot darker. We don't know. Anyways, sequels that are different took out a specific element, and they don't even feel like a sequel. So you said Resident Evil 4, Paul?
Yep.
How about 7?
Yep. No, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Mass Effect took out the Mako. Was everyone sad about that in Mass Effect 2?
The question is throwing me off a little bit because what he's talking about in his thing is tone, and then his question is just like an element in general. Because
I
like
mean,
he's
tone is an
opening it
element,
up more.
So
I think he's being more generic for the question.
yeah, which is actually super appreciative. It makes it way easier.
Um,
I feel like there's like more obvious answers.
Guitar Hero Live, kind of.
Sure.
I could see that.
Yep.
I think that thing is shutting down. I think I saw a tweet from Freestyle Games or from like Guitar Hero Live, one of the two, saying like the last live show is going to be happening like this weekend or something. So that's kind of a bummer.
Well, the dev is owned by Amazon now or someone. Remember? No, Ubisoft. They got bought by Ubisoft.
Yeah, no, it's just still a bummer. Like that was a cool thing to just always have kind of there that I could just go back to and have it like running. You know what I mean? But anyway, that was a cool shift. Definitely a tone shift for sure.
Majora's Mask in the chat is a great answer.
Oh yeah. But like that one, I think was a positive. I really liked Majora's Mask because of that.
I mean, if we're going to talk about Legend of Zelda, it's like Legend of Zelda 1 and then Zelda 2 is just huge.
They're very different. Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2.
I would almost argue the Zeldas are always like super different. Like Wind Waker's kind of real different too. But then there's a lot that are similar. Like Ocarina is real similar to Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Every Kirby game is something different than the last Kirby game.
That's true. Yeah, which is super appreciated.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Where is my Kirby Tilt and Tumble for my phone?
That actually sounds really cool. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're playing it in portrait mode, and you can like, you know, kind of flip it up to make him jump. That seems great.
Cars 3 looks tonally very different. Cars.
Yeah, I can't think of much.
I can't think of any more, and I'm not seeing any in the chat. Okay.
Dead Rising 4 getting rid of the timer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's more of a subtle change. I think it's still pretty Dead Rising-y, but yeah, I can see that. All right, who wants this next one?
I'll take it. Jacket K. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I was saying that right. Jacket K asks, what games do you feel were an iconic part of your childhood? And I mean, the answer for all three of us, I'm sure, is Super Mario Brothers, like, as just a generalization for everybody that grew up in that era. Was just iconic because it was fucking everywhere for people that liked games.
I don't know if I would say that one. I feel like everyone would say a Mario game.
That's kind of what I meant.
A lot more time. Yeah, I would like. Are you saying the first Super Mario Bros. Was big for you then?
I mean, for me personally, yeah, but I just mean in general, like Mario Bros.
Yeah, I'm thinking for myself, like Super Mario Land. I played a lot of, and then World, and probably 64. Like any of those three. I played a lot of those.
Okay.
Ones. What about you, John?
Mario Bros, Tetris. What else? Ninja Turtles.
Which one? Which Ninja Turtles? The first one? NES?
Arcade game. The second one.
Actually, the arcade one was big for me too. Yeah. That was definitely one of the first arcade games I played. Same with Soul Calibur.
Okay.
You know what? The first Pokemon is huge, and Ocarina of Time also real big for me.
Yeah, those weren't that iconic for me.
Which ones?
No, sorry. I was saying that they weren't iconic for me. He was saying Ocarina and sorry, what was the other one?
I can see Ocarina being
and Pokemon
for a lot of people.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Would you guys argue like your first game is like definitely has to be on this list?
No, because mine was Pong.
Okay, because I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure my first games were just some weird stuff on like a computer.
Sure.
But the ones that I can definitely remember was like the first Sonic.
Yeah.
Like getting a Genesis, I think. Like I believe the Genesis was my first console.
Right.
And then like the Game Boy. So I know Sonic and like Pokemon were like real up there for me.
Legend of Zelda 2 was huge for me because that's the one we had. So that's the one I played a lot of growing up.
Sure. Anything else for you, John?
Nah.
All right. Do you want to take this next question?
Sure. Hang on a sec. I got someone being a butt. Final Insanity says, we've seen many video games adapted to different media over the years, movies, TV shows, etc. But are there any games that you would like to see made into a musical? Just imagine a world where Street Fighter the musical exists. Technically, it does. I did a Google search, and there's a fan musical of it. Ooh,
also, Resident Evil has a musical that is considered canon in Japan, so it exists for me already as well.
Phoenix Wright has a number of musicals.
Are they musicals? I was thinking Phoenix Wright. I know it has movies.
A lot of video
at least
games
two
have
musicals. Capcom is real big into musicals for some reason.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They love them.
I think there might even be something Monster Hunter related, although I might be remembering that one wrong.
I mean, I'm sure. Anything that's big in Japan really will probably have a Japanese musical associated with it as well.
Are there any games you could see go well into a musical?
Rock Band.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, but
Okay. The ones that came to my
I'd
mind.
watch Dead Rising the musical.
I could see that.
Mega Man the musical.
Ones that came to my mind were ones that have a heavy focus on bosses, and each boss fight would be like a song. So I thought of Shadow of the Colossus and Fury.
That's really good.
Those would be real good.
I really like this.
Shadow of the Colossus, like you would have like big costumes, right? Like several people
for sure.
controlling one big costume kind of thing.
Man, that's really good.
Those are the ones that came to my mind when I was thinking of it. Dead in Sky writes, so you guys were really proficient in determining what qualifies as a sandwich. But let me ask you this. Is cereal soup?
Okay, let's Google what is soup. A liquid dish typically made by boiling meat, fish, or vegetables in stock or water. So...
But there is cold soup.
Yeah. So
true, but cold soup is not just milk. It's more like
I'm gonna say
tomato juice.
Cereal is not soup.
Does soup have to be boiled?
No, I don't think so. I think something has to stew in it, though.
Wouldn't that be a stew?
A stew for sure. Yeah, but like, I think cereal is not a soup, but it can get soupy after a little bit. Which is it's a gross. I don't like thinking about this at all.
So what you're saying is like
soupy and soup are different things, though. Like soupy just means like it's falling apart.
That's true. Like a human can become soupy if you wait long enough.
Yeah. Sure. You have to wait a long time, but yes, sure.
I'm gonna say yes. I don't like soup or cereal, so I don't care.
I'm gonna say no.
Why do you say no?
Hang on, I'm watching the cat. He's trying to eat another 3DS charger.
Wait, another?
Yeah, Bagel's eaten 2 3DS chargers in this past week. I had to buy 2 replacements.
What the fuck?
So today we brought him to the vet. He's got gingivitis, and the vet thinks that's what's making him chew more than usual. So he picks everything. That's why I've been leaning around the whole stream, trying to figure out what he's doing because he's trying to eat cords.
Or maybe he was sent by Nintendo because they don't like 3DS chargers either.
No, but he ate through my Steel Battalion controller cord.
I saw pictures of that.
Yeah, and was not impressed. So he's on like watch, and I have no way to ban him from the room because it's a staircase. It's an open concept basement with no door.
Okay.
But yeah, I think cereal's not soup because you don't really boil anything to put in it.
What about cold soup?
What about cold soup? You still have to boil like the innards of it. Or are we just saying like tomato soup in this case? Because I think gazpacho is like a special.
Soup. I don't really like soup.
I'm not a soup guy either, to be fair.
I don't think cold soup requires any boiling to have taken place during it. Like I don't think it's something is cooked and then cooled.
I think the gazpacho requires you like heating it up, then letting it cool, doesn't it? I'm looking this up now.
I'm not the person to ask. Paul, aren't you our resident gazpacho expert?
The fuck are you even talking about? Why? I've had it before.
Cold soup?
No, gazpacho specifically. It's fucking delicious, man.
Okay. Where do you fall on this, Paul?
You know, this is real hard because a lot of the definitions I'm seeing are saying something about like a broth and stock and stuff like that, and I don't really consider milk to be like a broth to put like the thing.
Okay.
I don't actually know because I think frankly I don't care. Like I actually had like a horse.
So
I had like a
yeah.
horse in the race. I think for the sandwich thing, where it's like, no, this is what I firmly believe. With soup and cereal, I'm just like, who fucking cares? Like, I don't know. It's
But I
not
mean,
the
when the
same.
war
mentions a good
comes,
point.
what side will you fight for?
Sandwiches.
Well, I mean, in this argument, like, because
I-
this war is going to happen before the sandwich war.
Yeah. That
Ryu
seems like
Saber
a
brings
bad
up a
idea.
good point in the chat. They say soups also tend to be savory, unlike cereals. So like,
That's
there's
true.
usually more seasoning and flavors put into soups compared to cereal. Cereal is
Okay.
usually just one
true.
flavored thing with milk poured on it.
What about if it's Fruit Loops and they put chocolate milk in it?
No,
That's well,
That's
well
not
I'm
a
just saying
soup.
that
That's not a soup.
that's more flavors though.
you're right. That is more flavor, but it's still milk
Because kids always put chocolate milk in their soup or
in their soup. Jesus.
Kids always put chocolate milk in their cereal. That's a pro strat right there. That's a life hack.
I think that's disgusting. But that's fine. You can eat cereal with water.
Oh,
All I'm saying is
yeah.
that it doesn't really need to be milk even. So if the argument is that like it has to be a watery base at all, I think we can throw that out because you can just eat cereal with water if you're like poor.
Well, here's what I'm thinking soup is.
Okay.
It's just some kind of liquid. Now you have a soup.
I don't think that's right. Otherwise,
By that
that's just called
by
a
that
liquid.
definition, yeah.
That's true. Actually, that's true. What's the difference between soup and a drink?
What? Okay.
Well, I have my
And that's
glass
my
of
problem
soup.
because I don't like hot drinks, so I don't like soup because soup is just a hot drink.
Okay. By this logic,
Okay,
like
that makes more sense than saying soup is cereal or cereal is soup.
yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. So, like, what about
Lemire
iced
Knight in
tea?
the chat brings up a good point. Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Oh God,
I think we're done here.
I think we're done too.
Last question. Who's got it?
Oh, no more Spiros on Twitter wrote in and said, "When the world's in crisis, do you call for the EBA or the EDF?"
It depends on what the crisis is.
That's
Yep.
true. Is it aliens or did your dad pass away and it's Christmas time?
Wow.
We're writing in, everybody.
It's topdownperspective@gmail.com. It's at TDP Podcast on Twitter, Facebook group, Reddit, John's P.O. Box. What's your guys' games of the week?
What the fuck did I even say I played this week?
Do I even have to repeat? Like,
Yep.
it's obviously Overwatch.
Okay.
Super Hexagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hated one of my games and I like the other, so I'm going to go Overwatch.
Fair enough.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Bye.